That's
One of
You're
the
never gonna live
foxes.
to 100.
yes, I am. You watch.
Okay, council,
Okay, yeah, man, that's it.
thank you very much. We'll call our meeting to order and our guest this evening. Thank you for coming. We need a motion to drop the agenda and there are, a change in the agenda. Public statements is now, number 11. Closed sessions goes to 13 and adjournment to 14. Anything else? You know, can I have a motion?
So,
Councilor Russell, seconder.
I'll second it.
Councilor Elderkin, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Carried. Conflict of interest declarations. Being none. Adoption of the minutes for January 6, 2026, regular council meeting. Motion. Someone. Councilor Jonah, seconder. Councilor Left Goat. Any questions? All in favor?
I,
January 2026. Committee of the whole minutes, can I have a motion? It's up. Councilor Land, seconder. Councilor Elderkin. Any questions?
I have
Yes,
one question,
Okay.
please, just for clarification purposes, the part in here where it talks about the trails funding. The 79,336 that remains, can you explain again where that money is stemmed from? It's a question that's been asked and I wasn't able to quickly recall.
Yeah, so
So
that,
for the record,
so that money was obtained prior to amalgamation, from Infrastructure Canada to do the Petitcodiac Dike Trail shoreline or the, Graybrook Trail and Wetland Trail. Wetland and Graybrook have been completed, but the Petitcodiac Dike Trail has not been completed. So that's the money that is left over from that grant to do that portion, which is like 3 kilometers of trail portion. And we're still working with landowners, so that's just been extended, the deadline to use that money. So that's what that's for.
thank you.
yes. I think we did the motion.
Fast, it's,
So,
no, we have to pass it.
yeah,
Yes.
all in favor?
Uh-huh.
That's what I was doing, sorry. No, that's what. Carried. Consent agenda and nothing. Public and administrative presentations, Plan 360. You're up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and members of the council. Welcome back. Thank you very much. So this is rezoning from commercial industrial to the intensive resource development zone, located on Tinky Road, which is a public non-maintained road on Caledonia Mountain. So, as usual, I'll start with a brief description of the proposal, highlight any required amendments, and provide the general guidance on the process. And by the end of this, you'll be presented with the option to pursue the motion. So to start off, this is where the proposed site would be within the wider region. It's situated inland. This is a closer view of the site. It remains forested, so do the surrounding properties. It's also located on a plateau, on a slight incline towards the ravine leading into the Caledonia Brook. Now, its current zoning is commercial industrial. This is still a relatively intense zone that permits scrapyards, large commercial sites, and this was done under, this was a legacy of an old rezoning from the previous plan to permit a quarry on the site that hasn't yet been developed. But since then, the plan has changed and the type of zoning where quarries are permitted has changed to the intensive resource development zone. We have a couple examples of that in the surrounding area, such as the quarry on Shenstone Road, or to the south, the quarry on Caledonia Mountain Road. Immediately to the south of this lot, zone conservation, and otherwise, the surrounding areas are all zoned rural area, which is the most common zoning in the region. So again, under the rural plan, the intensive resource development zone is applied on a case-by-case basis for new quarry developments. And they just have to follow the Department of Environment's standards and obtain their approval to operate. So this is the context map provided by the applicant. Just want to emphasize that this map dates from the initial rezoning application that started in 2012 and was resolved in 2013. And the client specified that all the details regarding this proposal remain the same as then. They just haven't had a chance to develop it yet. This shows the elevation and the sites to be extracted. The site on the north would be phase 1, which would be the area extracted. And this is just a phasing plan showing in which order different parts of the quarry are to be extracted. And this is the constraints map. And again, this quarry will extract roughly 75,000 tons of rock per year. The blast will occur 2 or 3 times a year. There will also be a temporary crusher on site as well. So a site visit was conducted on January 21st. The PID itself to be rezoned was inaccessible due to the weather. So this is a view of Tingley Road, situated right next to the snowmobile club. So the proposal was sent to the different provincial departments to receive their comments. So first, authorizations, they said that there are no problems on their end. It's just pending the correct zoning. Otherwise, it will give, once they receive their appropriate zoning, they'll be giving the approval to operate for their quarry. Air Sciences emphasize to be aware that quarry operations can generate dust and noise for nearby residents. Should be understood that some residual level of noise or dust may remain regardless of any reasonable restrictions and mitigations. In the report, the clients stated that they'll cover their trucks transporting the aggregate. Although not significant from an environmental impact assessment, these residual emissions may nevertheless result in aesthetic or nuisance impacts to the neighboring properties and their access roads. The Department of Local Government Environmental Assessment Branch stated that as a quarry has an approval to operate in place, and because such activities do not directly trigger an environmental impact assessment, there were no comments from their branch. The more detailed comments came from the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. So they stated that they asked whether a sightline analysis was conducted to evaluate the industrial usage at the intersection of Tingley and Caledonia Mountain Road. And they said that in the spring, this pit would need to comply with the rate restrictions and ensure the hauling operations do not negatively impact road conditions. And condition of this area appears to be close to or possibly within the Turtle Creek watershed. I can confirm that is near the Turtle Creek watershed, but it is not touching it in any way. Regardless of operations, again, back to the comment, regardless of operations. They're asking about the 25,000 tons stockpile. And whether that would trigger a traffic impacts assessment. And lastly, we might need an agreement in order to proceed with work on Braid Road and Tingley Road. So again, the public non-maintained roads, they're very thin, narrow roads that lead into the site, and those that need to be widened. So before the applicant does that, they need an agreement with DTI to make sure that the pit operations do not adversely affect the DTI drainage system. Since receiving those comments and sending the report to council, I did correspond with the client. And in response to Vincent's concerns, the applicant stated that they would not haul during weight restrictions. They would agree to enter into an agreement with DPI. And that it is a part-time job-specific quarry, not meant to serve the residential market. And that the 25-ton stockpile would remain on site throughout the operation. And it will not be accessed during the snowmobile season in order to maintain access for the recreational vehicles during the winter. And again, emphasizing that it's out of the watershed. And between the submission of the report and this meeting, we also received a comment from the Department of Agriculture, again reminding us that there's a blueberry farm nearby. So we've drafted a draft bylaw. If it goes ahead, it would be the third amendment and rezoning in Fundy Albert under the Westmoreland Albert Rural Plan, and the second rezoning to the intensive resource development zone. So is it an appropriate use? We believe it's well suited to the subject site and the surrounding area. A notable exception for this specific proposal is that it was approved for a quarry under the old plan, and that the rezoning is only needed to renew an existing approval. Extraction has not occurred since the initial rezoning. However, the client has stated that they wish to begin extraction within the next year following the rezoning, if they are able to. Now, there are some concerns related to road access from DTI, but again, the applicant confirmed that they would enter into an agreement. And is this a reasonable rezoning? There are very few unknowns associated with this quarry because we have the documentations from the old rezoning, and in the view of Hunter 60, it is a reasonable rezoning. So this is just a proposed timeline. If we were to initiate the process, tonight would be the resolution to council. February 10th would initiate, we've sent out letters to all residents within a 100-meter radius. We would present this to the Planning Review and Adjustment Committee on February 25th. The public hearing would have to occur on March 3rd. And that would offer the public their chance to speak for or against the amendment. And the final readings would have to occur April 7th before the election. Now here, again, the options: council may proceed with the public process. The council may refuse to proceed with the request if it does not agree with the project. And council may postpone this file and wait for more information to be provided before setting a public hearing date and seeking advice from the Planning Review and Adjustment Committee. And that concludes the presentation. I'm open to questions if anyone has them.
Yeah, so thank you for your presentation, and so I've been through this a few times with you, and I know there's one thing that I'm stuck on is the how far, when you do your mail out to let the residents know of the rezoning request. 100 meters, it's not very far. So I mean, if you go back to your map, I'm just curious, out of that, if you went to that 100 meters, does it actually include any residents?
These are very large lots. This would perhaps be the This one, so it'd be,
I don't think it would cover, I mean, based on looking at those maps. It's hard to say, but it doesn't look like it would,
see, there's a scale on these ones, so 125 meters is the length of the scale. Doesn't show all the properties. This one, yeah, 300 meters, 150. Through large lots, perhaps it may reach this one. That otherwise wouldn't be reached by simply 100 meters. It's again hard to tell just by eyeballing it, but judging from the scale, it may perhaps catch an additional few properties at best.
yeah, I guess I would like to see. What the radius would be and where you'd reach majority of the residents that would be impacted by this. And what that distance would be.
Okay, I do have a buffer map that I can perhaps access from the server. That may take a few minutes to access, but I can certainly prepare that. In the meantime, does anyone else have any questions?
I do. The access road that's gonna go in by that sharp corner by the snowmobile club. They're gonna get down, they're gonna widen that out.
Correct.
Who owns that road?
It's a public road.
It is a public road all the way down through there, even Dingley Road?
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so there's lots of space there to widen without touching anybody's property.
Quarry Road.
Right.
So then.
But then it turns to Dingley
The Dingley goes
on the left.
to the left.
Yeah.
At the top. Then it goes to the left again, down at the corner.
Yeah. If it's all public, that's fine, it's wide enough, I was just wondering if it was wide enough.
Yeah.
If it was-
Well, they're gonna have to put a culvert in there, because there is one, a narrow one, just behind the snowmobile club.
Yeah, there's quite a little gully there.
So, well, I know they would put it in just as quick as.
Yeah. Okay, no, as long as it's wide enough to do what they gotta do, it's fine.
If they'd have to enter an agreement with the Department of Transportation over there to do that, and extend several meters from the existing road.
I didn't know it was a public road, that's, okay, perfect.
So you're.
The Department of Agriculture, you made note of it about the blueberry fields. Is that all they wanted to remind you? That, did they have any objections?
They do not envision any impacts to the yeah, Ultra just reminded us to be mindful of it.
Where is the blueberry fields compared to the site? Is it,
It's somewhat far, actually, we can't even see them
Okay.
here. I can say, I don't know if you know, if you can see the mouse here. But it would be up here.
okay.
Anything else? Council Coates. How about, has, Nav Canada been notified for?
This one's quite a bit further from the initial site.
Yeah, but they're. But I was told that they will, if it went to Boston, was the thing, it might. Get their.
We can consult Nav Canada in addition to ahead of the public meeting if, just to receive confirmation that it's,
Just rather than getting in the. You know what happened at Phillips, so it was. Well, let's. And, I do know Mike Brightwell. And he's a snowmobiler, and he'll do everything he can, he probably. Fix that road, so. Drag roads. Which. Doesn't matter, so. And there's only one. House. Or one, I get two houses there on the same property. By the Nav Canada. And. They're farther away than Phillips Brothers, so.
over a kilometer.
Yeah. I don't think there's any problem there. Anyone else? Thank you.
Can you access your,
It's going to take a minute, but I can definitely do it. I'll just unplug as I set it up.
you want to move on and come back if you want, or?
I knew that. Reports and recommendations from committee and private meetings, personnel committee.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Emergency measures committee. Nothing. Nothing to report. Recreation committee.
Yeah, I sent out a couple of things this morning. Trying to find the email right now. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at it.
Nope.
Where you go? Help me out, Ian. Where do I find that, buddy? When did you guys send me?
About 4:30, Jeff.
Yeah, 4:30 this morning. I woke up at 3:30. I don't know, I didn't send that out to everybody. Okay, the first one is concerning the Albert and Alma Rex Recreation Committee. They want to do a joint pilot project. One is create kids drawing workshop. It's a 6-week, 1 hour per week program focused on creativity, fine motor skills, focus and self-expression. And as well, a strong roots music program, ages 8 to 11, and after school music and movement program, anticipated 6 to 8 weeks, designed to promote physical literacy, coordination, confidence, and social connections through structure, age-appropriate music activities. They're going to be doing this in collaboration with Riverside School. Now, they first wanted to know if there'd be a problem using our insurance, but really this is nothing too strenuous or nothing that we should be worried about insurance. That's what is recommended by the Recreation Committee, that the council gives 2 thumbs up and let them move forward with these 2 programs with the down Riverside Albert. It's kind of neat to see the Alma Recreation Council and the newly formed Riverside Albert Recreation Council doing something in conjunction with one another. But they're just looking for an okay from council that they move forward and do it. That's,
Would the school not, if they're on the school property, be insured for that?
I would think so, yes.
Not after hours, so.
Not after hours, if it's essential.
I did a bit of research into this with the insurance company and that. So both Alma Recreation Council and Riverside Albert Recreation Council have insurance by being a member of the Recreation Committee. That's their liability insurance. So anything they do is covered by our insurance, which is why, because of the caveats and everything to do with insurance, they have to have council's approval to move forward with it, because it's often us holding the risk of that activity.
That makes sense. I think that's what we discussed back when the Alma Rink had an issue there a couple of years ago, that they had to report to council, like a committee, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, if somebody has a problem with that, we can tell them to move forward, and I think there's got to be a little bit of leniency. For instance, Alma Recreation Council is very, very busy. They do a lot of things. I would hope that we wouldn't stop them, or that everything they want to do have to run to us. If they're having a coloring contest, they have to come to us to make sure nobody gets hurt with crayons. Now, I'm a little bit confused on how far this goes and how far the reach is for the recreation committees or the councils to come and ask us for everything that they do.
Well, a coloring contest probably wouldn't be done in one of our facilities. Like it's done at home, but if it's at the arena or at the rink, those are the things. I feel we do need to know a little bit of what's going on and what they're programming and what they're advertising.
Yeah.
Because if we're not aware of it and something does happen after the fact, it's us that's liable.
Okay.
And I don't think any of them are doing anything that's not pre-planned of some sort.
No.
Like I don't think any of the rec councils come up with an idea today and wanna start it tomorrow,
No, no, absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter, but you guys were on the rec council, so if you're meeting monthly, then there should be nothing that really falls through the cracks and it does come back to council. We meet twice a month, so,
Yeah, we're meeting every other month.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
so I mean, they just have to communicate to you guys, so you bring it to council.
or anything in between recreation committee meetings. They wanna do something, they could just send it off to either myself or Jeff. And
I don't know what the terms of your.
Yeah, there's not really anything in the terms of reference that specifies what happens in between. I would think they would have more, I mean, we meet every other week, so they should have a good idea of what they're doing in 2 weeks from now, but if not, I mean, a special meeting could be held if.
no, I'm not talking if there's not an actual recreation committee meeting. That's what I'm talking.
Oh, well,
Yeah, if there's
you
something
may
in
have to
between
meet
that, if
after.
the government decides they wanna do something. Like our next meeting is March, they just, or April, they decide in March, they wanna do something,
I see.
that's what I'm talking about.
They, if the group does a function like they're talking here, do they have to come to us every time?
That's,
That's what the consensus
I don't
is.
think so.
That's what
Yeah, they
the
do.
insurance stipulated.
That's what the consensus is.
That's what, how we're all feeling the consensus is.
Yeah, so I sent a document to all council members to share with all your committee members.
Mhm.
Did you get that email? And about the committees of council and how it works, and then the part about insurance. So there's some people that are, or some groups that are part of the rec committee as a
Right.
group because of the insurance.
Yeah.
So the Alma Rink and the Riverside Outlet Rec, they don't have insurance, they don't have liability insurance. The Riverside Rec is probably not as risky, because I don't think they have a. Like the Alma Rink has a location, right, where people gather, so if someone, I guess Loretta said, somebody gets hurt. And then we get a suit. And then we go to council with it, and well, I didn't know they were having a skating competition. Do you know?
right,
And that's the unfortunate part with having to rely on the village for the insurance.
Right.
There has to be some sort of oversight.
But
There
I
has to
think,
be
And
accountability.
there has to be, and you guys have to be aware of it, and you have to approve it, so whether or not the rec meet monthly.
but if it's in between, all they need to do is send us a request. We can always call for a special meeting and do it that way and put it through. If that's what it comes to.
As a rec committee, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, the rec.
They can
committee
come to us.
has-
We don't have to have a meeting. They can come to us anytime, make the request. We can bring it back and have a special meeting with council to approve it or not approve it, and say we want to cover it.
Well, it should be a part of your rec committee.
That's what I'm
You should-
saying.
Yeah, so
Yep.
your group should come together and then come to council, make the
But if it's
recommendation.
in between the meetings, is what I'm saying, and something pops up, they wanna do something in 2 or 3 weeks.
You'll have to call the rec committee meeting.
Okay.
And then come to council.
Right.
Yeah. Would be the. The,
So there's no clause in there that's anything to CAO.
no, it's council. No,
So
they can change it.
They can't, guess what, they don't do that a month in a year, do you?
Well, they're not monthly, so I don't know. It's monthly on the
Very
Alberta.
smaller, yeah. But anyways, we'll
Generally, that goes
down the road, so. Anything else on that?
yeah, there is something else as far as regards to Funny Blade Skating Club. Purpose to present for council consideration 2 requests for Funny Blade Skating Club. 1, approval of in-kind arena ice time for their year-end ice show. And 2, approval of a monthly payment plan to allow remaining seasonal ice costs to be spread over the season. Background, Funny Blades Skating Club is a local not-for-profit organization providing youth skating and skill development programming within the municipality of Fundy, Alberta. In June 2025, Fundy Blades submitted a request for in-kind arena ice time related to their year-end ice show. Due to administrative transitions, the request was not brought forward to council at that time. To make a long story short, Funny Blades is having a little bit of financial difficulties. Registrations are down. So they're having a hard time financially. And so the Recreation Committee asked for to come to council and ask that their end of season show that we donate the ice time to them. It would be. And here's somewhere,
March 26th, 27th.
yeah, March 26th, 27th, and an estimated in-kind value of approximately $1,500. So that's what they're looking for is like I said, they are having a struggle financially. Because they've been operating now for 41 or 42 years at the arena. And they're just now finding it tough. So their year-end show, they're asking for, like I say, approximately a total of about $1,500, which would be in kind for March 26th and March 27th. So that's part one of this. And Jeff, do you want to handle the financial?
The part two on this is with the low attendance, their money's a little tight, making their payments every month. The 26th to 27th of March is a fundraiser. And with the money they bring in from that event, will probably catch them up for the rest of the year. But it probably will not be on time to make the payment when it's required. So they're asking for a little bit of leeway to have to the end of the season to pay for their ice time. Kind of hold it over for a month, so they can square up and pay it by the end of the season. That's what they're after. We did have some conversation at the rec committee of ways to help them. Everybody at the table was very kind. Different ideas how they could increase maybe some of their numbers next year, or maybe some of the can skate stuff to do different things. The biggest thing in Fundy Albert is communication. It always has been. People down country and up country and middle country, whatever you want to call it, they don't know of everything that's going on. And when they don't know, they can't go support it. So the biggest thing is, and with the rec committee, is everybody's talking to each other, and it's a wide group. There's a lot of people there, which is great. And they're throwing new ideas out that somebody somewhere else might not have. And they're not reaching into that area or that basket to pull from to help. So that was discussed at the meeting. And I think going forward, their numbers, if they do what they talked about at the meeting, I think their numbers will increase. So anyways, that's what they're looking for. It's a little extension on their payment, that's all.
So bottom line, the Recreation Committee recommends that council, number one, approve in-kind arena ice time for Fundy Blades Skating Club for their year-end ice show on March 26th and March 27th. With an estimated total in-kind value of the region of $1,500, and approve a monthly payment plan allowing Fundy Blades to spread the remaining balance of their seasonal arena rental costs over the remainder of the season, with payments due every 30 days, subject to a written repayment schedule approved by the treasurer. And three, direct staff to prepare a draft arena rental payment plan deferral policy for council's consideration to guide future requests. That's what's been recommended by the rec committee. So I have a couple draft notes. I have a draft motion, but I can throw out there to see where it lands. Motion one, in-kind arena ice time. Whereas Fundy Blades Skating Club is a not-for-profit organization providing youth recreational programming within the municipality of Fundy Albert, and whereas Fundy Blades has requested in-kind arena ice time for their year-end ice show scheduled for March 26th, March 27th. Therefore, be it resolved that council approves in-kind arena ice time for Fundy Blades.
Seconder,
I'll second.
any questions, council, any more?
I just have a couple of comments, I guess. One is, I do appreciate that we got this morning, but really, when you get something the day of the meeting, for those of us that do work, it doesn't give enough time to recheck emails and rethink, so I guess I didn't have time today in my workday, and I know that's my issue to read what this is. Are we setting something up here as a president is going forward? For anything else, because we do we do don't they get, they are one of the ones that also get a grant.
Yes, they do,
Of a significant amount, I believe.
rather, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that, as much as. I'm very supportive of everything that goes on at the arena, don't get me wrong, I just don't wanna we still. From a business perspective, we look after all of Fundy Albert, not just the Fundy Blades and not just Hillsborough Minor Hockey. So we have to look at the bigger picture. That's where I would be coming from, and again, to be honest, I haven't read.
I dropped the ball on that. I'll take full responsibility. I had this to go Friday and the weekend came and I thought at 3 o'clock this morning, my eyes popped open. I was like, oh my God.
So I think for me, that's right now, without having more time to put a thought process into it, I don't know that I could. Support the.
But we have to remember too, Fundy Blades Minor Hockey has kids from all over Fundy Valley. It's just not, it's just not those from.
They,
Yeah.
I'm
So it's just-
fully aware of that.
If I may, Mayor, this is a one-time ask. We discussed that at the meeting and it should be noted if it does pass, that it is a one-time ask only. Considering the situation that they're in this year, if it happens again, it'd be a different situation if it passes through. But I would be in agreement for this one time. That's what I said, so.
Anybody else? Hey, well, we'll vote. All in favor,
I,
contrary minded? One, any or nay? Motion carried.
And if I may move to the second motion for monthly payment plan, please.
You may.
Whereas Fundy Blades Skating Club has requested approval to spread the remaining balance of their seasonal arena rental costs, and whereas the municipality does not currently have a formal policy governing arena rental payments, plans, or deferrals. Therefore, be it resolved, the council approves a monthly payment plan with payments due every 30 days for the remainder of the skating season, subject to a written repayment schedule approved by the treasurer. And be it further resolved, the council directs staff to develop an arena rental payment plan, deferral policy for future council consideration.
Second,
I'll second that.
let him. Hey. Okay,
Just, I know it does mention here that they are paid up, just want confirmation that they are paid up.
I can send that. Or I can do it right now, it's just take me a few minutes.
And then, you know, with the last part of that motion, be it further resolved that council direct staff, they don't believe that. It should be the CEO,
you should say, yeah,
not council direct staff. But I'm not sure, I know that the CEO has expressed that time is not as much out there as what you want it to be, so I'm not sure what your time frame is, but if this is something, then where this would land on your list. And how important is it to get done? At a certain time, we should probably put a timeline on it.
we can come up with payment plan fairly short order.
Like I said before on the last motion, this would be a one-time ask for me.
Mhm.
And I would agree with this one also. Like considering the situation of the year and this year, and but it's a one time, that's it. And if the CAO changed the resolution to include the CAO instead of the council, and if there's a new arena rental payment plan or deferral policy put together by next fall, that would be great. But for now, make a payment plan, work it out this season and be it.
And we can do that short order.
They do give a lot of money throughout the year to the arena. This seems to be a little hiccup right now. So hopefully they can correct that going forward next year and we won't see this back at the table again.
Should be, oops, sorry, should it be noted in the motion that this is a one-time?
Sure.
And I believe this, if I'm remembering right. Hillsborough Minor Hockey and Fundy Blades didn't get a rate increase in the fall. Correct?
I don't believe.
I don't.
No,
No, stay the same.
No, the new rates came out this fall,
that's right.
and they were
But the
notified
rates
in the
came up, but
spring.
did we increase?
Not again.
No, the money that we give them.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking, money that we give them, that stayed the same.
No,
Ice rentals.
yeah, ice rentals. Did they, or did they not get an increase in ice rentals?
Yes.
They did.
So they're paying the same as whatever the rental is.
They pay the youth rate.
Youth rate, right. Mhm.
They're paid up.
The only bill they have outstanding is the one that was just issued at the end of February.
They're up till.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's outstanding.
When you say up till the date issued, was that up currently, like current?
Like we get their ice times at the end of the month and we bill them. So right now they only owe for January.
Which is a normal procedure. Yeah.
Good. All in favor?
Oh,
I think you need to change the motion. then.
So the two who voted in favor would have to be in favor to amend the motion to have time frame for whatever council we're doing.
Motion approved.
And then to direct the CAO. That was the last.
I'll make that motion to direct the CAO to work on the payment plan. And also it should not read the council direct staff, it should be the CAO direct staff. That clarified?
On a one-time,
Then one time.
a one-time request,
Yes,
so this is, Honey Blaze has requested, should be somewhere in there that says, that this is a one-time request.
And we'll only, the council will only consider this one.
Therefore, it be resolved, the council approves a one-time monthly payment plan.
perfect.
And was there a time frame on that or no?
Well, I was referring to the time frame with regards to the arena rental payment plan to make sure that,
It's a season.
you mean, the season's just about done, right? So, well, 2 months.
So Joan would have to be in favor of that as well, and then it can go to a vote for the amendment.
So we need,
did we do this right? Cause I'm feeling we might not have.
No,
Okay, thank you.
no, so it's okay, so. Jonah should have made the amendment to the motion,
okay,
and then Land would have to second it,
okay,
and then it would pass or not pass. And then you go back to the original motion, and
Okay,
so you're approving the amendment right now.
okay. So yes, I would approve that, resolve that the CAO approves a monthly payment plan. And as well as CAO direct staff, take council over there. Is that what we're looking for?
No, not quite.
So you want the whole thing read again, is that what we're saying?
No, I think you missed part of what was agreed in the motion.
Oh, that's a one time,
Right.
Yes.
so one time, yes.
Must be.
I think you should probably try to read that again, just for clarity. Did you
please.
want me to try?
No,
Well, I think it has to be.
That's gotta be Jeff.
It has to be Jeff.
Okay, I'll wing it. Whereas Funny Place Skating Club has requested approval to spread the remaining balance of their seasonal arena rental costs. And whereas the municipality does not currently have a formal policy regarding arena rental plans or deferrals. Therefore, be it resolved that CIO approves a one-time monthly payment plan with payments due every 30 days.
Just therefore be resolved, it's okay to use council there.
It is okay, if I was going to council other, okay. There, wow. Therefore, be it resolved that council approves a monthly, one-time monthly payment plan with payments due every 30 days for the remainder of the skating season, subject to a written repayment schedule approved by the treasurer, and be it further resolved, the CAO directs staff to develop an arena rental payment plan / deferral policy for future council considerations.
Second by Lane. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Very. Perfect.
Is,
So Rick, you have your motion. that was
yeah,
the
for the
next,
school stuff.
the
Something that's-
youth programming.
Whereas the Recreation Committee was established by council resolution with a mandate to promote, plan and implement recreational initiatives and support community recreation councils operating under the Village of Fundy Albert's municipality liability insurance. And whereas the Alma Recreation Council and the Riverside Albert Recreation Council have jointly proposed 2 pilot youth recreation programs, the Creative Kids Drawing Workshop and the Strong Roots Music Program to expand accessible after-school recreation opportunities within Fundy Albert. And whereas the proposed programs will be delivered collaboratively by the Alma Rec Council and the Riverside Albert Recreation Council at Riverside Consolidated School at no cost to the municipality, with all volunteers vetted through the Anglophone East School District's established screening process to ensure participation safety. And whereas the programs are intended as a trial initiative and template for future recreation programming delivered under the Village of Fundy Albert's municipal liability insurance, be it resolved that council approve the delivery of the Creative Kids Drawing Workshop ages 5 to 10 and the Strong Roots Music Program ages 8 to 11 as pilot youth recreation programs operating under the Village of Fundy Albert's municipality insurance.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. That's it for the recreation? Yeah. All right. Just one quick one, ATV, Mr.
Nothing, on, from Quad A and B yet. And we're waiting for their proposal. Never, I've asked a couple of times to have it. Get it to us and not happening. All right.
Thank you.
Howard.
All right, sir, you can, you have the floor again.
Oh, no, thank you very much.
You're very well.
Oh. Looks like it's extending the screen here rather than. Oh, man, so you saw my, background there. Anyway, so this is the, consultation buffer, the standard 100-meter provincial consultation buffer. And if it extended by another 200 meters, this line would essentially be doubled, which looks like it could reach the neighboring PID, certainly to the south here, although this is the same. This is all the same PID, so it might extend to one additional PID.
And that's going to 300 meters?
Oh, 300 meters would definitely extend to the next PID. And that would be all.
But there's no residents in that next 100 meters, right?
No, there are no, the nearest house is approximately a kilometer away.
On question on that, on Finley Road. It's, if it's a government road, it's gotta be 66 feet wide. And that wouldn't be with a nothing taken with the owners now. It may have grown, it has been, I don't remember being in the last 40, 50 years since I the road. So it's a abandoned road, I think you call it, or. And they government won't look it up, but I'm sure. Be the same as the Burma Road. Philip, Filter Road, there were trucks and take may have a problem with the property owned on the right side.
Definitely, no, they would have to extend the road.
Yeah, I think so, but that would be them to work with the DTI.
That's right, yeah, DTI said,
That wouldn't. But
they're open to, the applicants open to, applying and working with DTI to get that approved to widen it.
yeah, they're a big one of the biggest, construction people in New Brunswick for sure. So. They said they were gonna do it, they're gonna do it.
I think, if I may, I think if they're gonna go with DEI and get approval for that road. That the landowners next to the road should be notified, but that's not on us, that's gonna be on DTI. Because it is gonna be impeding on some of their properties going through. Whether they have camps there or whatever, I don't know, but that's up to them if they're gonna make that agreement. I think all we need to do as council is look after the 100 or 200 or 300 meter buffer zone. And DTI will make that with that road going in. That's just my opinion.
So I agree. I just know that if you read the news lately, there is some major changes coming to the provincial government. And one of those changes does state that rural roads will not be serviced to what they have been receiving. So I'm just curious, I mean, to put a 66-foot road in there, it's gonna cost DTI a lot of money. And I'd be surprised if that would be in their budget.
They won't pay for it. The
So
construction company will pay for
the
that.
construction companies can pay 100%.
Yeah. Philip Brothers did theirs, we did that last one, those all their costs, DTI wasn't involved at all.
They'll just provide the engineering.
That's it,
Right.
they'll come, they'll do the work.
Have to build it to the
The
DTI.
Trans-Canada, Arsenal had to rebuild the road out for the windmills. They paid for it. It was a road that was the DTI road. So it'd be the same as these contractors.
Yeah, so I understand that, you know. A kilometer, the residence is over a kilometer, I want to just make sure that the adjacent PIDs are covered within whatever number we choose. So whatever the adjacent PIDs, if it's 200 meters or 300 meters, I just want to make sure that they are going to receive a letter.
Okay, yeah, you have the option of,
But I don't know what that magic number is, it might be 300, just to make sure, because I can't see all four corners or all, you know, the map, but just want to make sure the PIDs on all four sides of that highlighted red area would receive a letter.
oh, yeah, I mean, this one would, wherever the line touches, so. This one to the south here would, anything that has the line in even halfway. The only ones you could see that wouldn't would be. This one in the far south west corner and this one over here to the east.
But that's all woodland.
Yes.
Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Would like to have a motion.
Whereas council received a request from Birch Hill Construction Limited for a rezoning of the property located on Tingley Road and bearing PID 0503-6462 from commercial industrial to the intensive resource development zone to permit a rock quarry. And whereas the council wishes to consider the above mentioned modifications, be resolved that A bylaw amending the rural plan bylaw be drafted. B, the clerk in name on behalf of council will publish the public notifications in conformance with section 111 of the Community Planning Act. C, the hearing of objections to the proposed bylaw is set for March 3rd in the council chambers at 6 o'clock. D, the clerk in name of behalf of council will request the views of South Regional Service Commission on the proposed bylaws in conformance with section 110 of the Community Planning Act. And E, the proposed bylaw will be available for consultation by the public at the municipal building during operation hours from the date the first notice is published.
So does it state in there that we're changing from 100 meters to?
No.
So that should be mentioned in there somewhere.
I think we have to have a seconder on it to have a debate.
We have a secondary.
I'll second it.
Now the questions.
So my question is there a spot that we should, because it doesn't even state 100 meters in this motion, so, it should state.
I can make an amendment to that if you would like. Section F, we could add to the resolution that the proposed area meet the 250 meter reach of the property for consultation of outside properties.
It's like 250 meters.
250.
I think Jeff amended it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Caleb, like just make
Oh.
sure, we're okay. And then Coates. Are you okay with?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just have one other question. It just says March 3rd, which is the date of our next council meeting, so it'll happen before council.
Same. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Very much. Have a good drive down.
You have a very evening.
You too. Okay, reports of administration, council meeting schedule, and election candidate transition.
That is me, so I did provide a synopsis report, making a recommendation to council to cancel the May 19th committee of the whole. And there is a motion there.
I move that council cancel the committee of the whole meeting scheduled for May 19th, 2026, as it falls within the municipal election transition period under section 56 of the Local Governance Act and prior to the first meeting of the incoming council.
Secondary land. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Disposal of surplus, obsolete, or damaged equipment policy.
Equipment or council received a council report last committee of the whole meeting. Explaining the purpose of this, and basically it's we need this as part of our financial process and management. In this office, we don't have one of these policies in place as it is. And what it does, it provides strong provisions for record keeping, conflict of interest prevention, environmental protection, audit compliance. It includes safeguard municipal interests, promote fiscal responsibility, and support effective asset management practices across the organization.
Question?
Yeah, read the motion. I'll read the motion. I move that council adopt the disposal of surplus, obsolete and damaged equipment policy to establish a transparent, accountable, legislatively compliant framework for the disposal of municipal assets and authorize the chief administrative officer to administer the policy in accordance with its provisions.
Secondary. Votes. Question. Comments?
No, the only question or comment I have, when you say to me audit compliances, is there a list of assets that we dispose of? Is that what we do for audit compliance?
Well, we haven't been doing that, so I want to be audit compliant.
That answers my question. That's what I mean. We should be having
should
that
be.
list. Then what we're disposing of.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Respectful communication policy.
Again, last committee, of the whole meeting, presented a respectful communications policy. This policy is in place to give, staff, the ability to, prevent harassment, aggressive behavior. It also gives them, options, that they, basically don't have to deal with that kind of behavior. I do have responsibility under the workplace health and safety, framework to make sure that staff is protected from this kind of behavior. And we are seeking approval from council to pass this. It gives very clear directions on what we can and can't do.
I'll move that. I move that the council adopts the given weather policy to provide a clear and consistent framework for managing.
Not very fun.
Well,
And I'll give me.
right there. There you go.
No, this is everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
It's all right.
I'll come to people. I move that the council adopts the respectful communications and pupil interaction policy to establish clear standards for strong public interaction. Protect the health and safety of the municipal employees and the support orderly municipal operations and authorize the chief administrative officer to enforce the policy as required.
Second you for that. Any questions, comments, all in favor? Aye. Employment, weather. Oh, let's see.
Okay, we presented this policy as well last council meeting. I'm presenting this because we don't have one. And it's kind of good to have a policy in place to dictate when you can't shut down the office. And this provides the guidance that we require and justify.
I move that council adopt the climate weather policy to provide a clear and consistent framework for managing municipal operations during hazardous weather conditions, to protect employee and public safety, and to support continuity added of essential services, and that the chief administrator officer be authorized to act on the policy as required. The chief.
Gentlemen,
Sorry about that.
any questions, comments?
I just make a comment. I think this is a very important policy, because you never know. It's always like, look outside, what's the weather, should we or shouldn't we? This makes it very clear. It's just no guesswork.
Thanks for thinking it.
Yeah, exactly.
All in favor?
Alright.
Economic development terms of reference.
This was also presented last committee of the whole. It's a proposal to form a economic development committee for the municipality. So we did the Eversay survey, 28% of the population basically said there's a need for economic development and establish economic development practices in the municipality. We do need to make sure that we are attracting businesses, attracting investment, and growing our population and expanding our tax base, because if we aren't, we're not going to be able to pay for anything. So basically forming an economic development committee will bring the community together, as well as a bunch of expertise that we have through vetted members of this committee. Basically what they can start doing is planning economic development opportunities or pursuing opportunities. And we work with our partners, of course, the commission and the administrator to help identify some of those opportunities that we can pursue.
I move that council establish the Economic Development Committee as an advisory committee of council and approve the Economic Development Committee terms of reference to provide strategic advice on economic development priorities, business retention and expansion, investment attraction and regional collaboration, and authorize the chief administrative officer to administer and support the committee in accordance with the approved terms of reference.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
I,
Finance Committee terms of reference.
For last, committee, the whole meeting, we do have a finance committee, but we don't have a terms of reference. This is basically providing terms of reference for that committee. Make it operational.
I move that council approve the finance committee terms of reference to provide strategic financial oversight and recommendations on budgeting, financial planning, audit review, and fiscal sustainability, and authorize the chief administrator officer or their designate to administer and support the committee in accordance with the approved terms of reference.
Seconder, gentlemen. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I have a couple questions, I guess, or comments. I did check with some other municipalities and they currently do not have a finance committee in this structure. And although I am seeing the absolute importance of it, I'm not seeing that we're there yet. I guess that's my overall opinion at this time. I think if we were all completely caught up and things were running smoothly, I think this would be great, but when you're running 2 or 3 years behind with our audits and different things, I'm not sure that we're there yet. So for me, I probably would not support this at this time. But I would certainly bring it back to a new council in a few months when things get moved along.
We could table it until, after the new council starts.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
So can I amend my motion to table it until
After
after the next municipal election?
Audits are completed.
Yeah. At least we get 1 or 2 audits completed, yeah.
So the motion is to table the motion down the road.
Correct.
So between Jonah,
And, all in favor? In tabling it?
I,
Warming Center activation policy on state of emergency.
again, this was brought up last committee, the whole meeting. We have a procedure for emergencies, but we do not have one for non-emergencies. This policy takes the thinking out of when we don't do this. I think it's a pretty solid policy and it would everything that we do in administration is either dictated by a bylaw, policy, or rule, or regulation. And this will help us determine if a warming center or the center has to be open for a non-emergency purpose.
I read that motion. I move that council adopt the comfort center activation policy, non-state of emergency, to establish a clear and legally sound framework for municipal comfort centers during extreme cold or utility disruptions where a state of emergency has not been declared, and authorize the chief administrative officer to carry out the operational implementation as directed by council.
Seconder, comment? Questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Outgrow water exploration proposal.
Okay, this support for us create the whole meeting for the proposal from Anglobe to move forward onto the next stages of the Hillsborough Water exploration. Needs change for that, since it was presented.
I move whereas the Hillsborough Water Exploration Project is ongoing budgeted initiative to identify and develop a new municipal production well to support long-term water supply resilience and system reliability within the Hillsborough water system. And whereas preparatory work completed to date includes hydrogeological review, wetland screening, environmental impact assessment, EIA, registration nearing completion, and execution of the owner access agreement permitting well-related works. And whereas the next phase of the project includes construction of a preliminary access road, drilling of an exploration well, and initial pump testing. And whereas a proposal has been received from Anglo to undertake the next phase of work as at a revised estimate total cost of $191,000, reflecting the municipality's decision to complete the access road construction using in-house resources. And whereas funding for this phase of the project was budgeted within the Hillsborough Utility operating budget.
Second for that. Counselor Lane. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Uh,
3-ton truck, plow truck replacement.
So, again, this is brought forward the last committee, the whole meeting. There is one key change in this one though. The original truck that was quoted at the committee of the whole was no longer available. And we've been re-quoted for a similar truck for a slightly cheaper price of $821.26 less. The key differences between the two trucks is the current vehicle they're now quoting on has a hybrid dump body on it. So it's a steel phase aluminum sides, where the previous one was all aluminum, and this one does have a slightly larger toolbox underneath. They're the key differences. It's slightly cheaper than what we bought for committee of the whole.
Whereas the municipality's existing 3-ton dump truck has exceeded most key asset management and fleet lifestyle performance indicators, including age, reliability, downtime, and repair cost benchmarks, result in escalating maintenance expenses, reduced fleet reliability, increasing impacts on service deliveries. And whereas administration has received quotes from a qualified supplier for the purchase of a replacement 3-ton dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid dump body together with a fitted 9.2 foot V-blade snowplow, which together meets municipality operational requirements and represents a like for like replacement of the existing asset. And whereas the total estimated cost of the replacement vehicle and plow is $133,883.74, excluding HST, consisting of $117,563.74 for the truck and aluminum hybrid dump box, and $16,320 for the snowplow. Whereas the funding is available for this purchase through the capital renewal fund in the amount of $84,394, with the remaining balance of $49,489.74 and net HST to be funded from the village port capital reserve. Now therefore be it resolved that council approve the purchase of a 3-ton dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid dump body and a 9.2 foot V-blade snowplow as quoted by the respective suppliers at a total estimated cost of $133,883.74, excluding HST. And be it further resolved that council authorize the CAO and mayor to approve cost variances of up to $5,000 should pricing change or minor specifications adjustments be required at the time of purchase, provided the vehicle remains equivalent in duty rating and operational capabilities.
Second. Jonah. Question?
I've got a few questions. So I'll start with my first question was this truck part of a budget process?
Yeah.
And was that for budget 2026, budget 2025, budget 2024? 26. 26. So if it is part of the budget, why are we approving it?
Because we need a truck.
May I comment?
Yep.
I believe like, there is the portion of $84,394 was essentially approved when council approved the plan for the CRF. But the additional will be coming out of capital funds, so we need council's approval of resolution to move that money
So
to
can
pay
you,
the rest of the truck.
so you can confirm that the budget was not for the full $117,000?
We budgeted based on a truck and borrow at 150,000 before HST. And that the additional portion would be a debenture. We brought two ideas to committee of a whole. And one was to wait for our financials and do a debenture, or to use village core now, and the direction we received was to proceed with using our capital village core funds.
I just find that if it was in the budget and it was approved, the budget's been approved. For a full $150,000, then I'm not really sure why it's coming to council. So that's question number one.
Can I just sort of add
Yeah.
on to her question? Just for clarifications, because it's on the budget process here. So for clarification purposes, the 84,000 that was budgeted is not a line item budget.
No, this is for the capital renewal fund plan that was approved at budget time.
Right, so the difference, you're saying we budgeted 150, where's that other difference? Where was it budgeted for?
The other difference was budgeted as going for a debenture, so we budgeted the interest. And short-term borrowing for that. But we are out from getting a debenture. We brought the other option of using village core. That was the direction we got, was that council wanted to see it purchased with the village core capital funds.
Yeah.
Opposed to waiting to the completion of financials.
Thank you, I just wanted it to be clear that it wasn't specifically a line item budget, but it was in the capital improvement, that's, and I wanted clarification on where the difference was budgeted for. Thank you. That's not finished, sorry.
Can I add on that? So if it's in the budget and we don't use it, will that not show up as a surplus later?
Yes, and council can choose to use it for other things within that capacity. For village core.
So if it's in the budget, why are we not using it? I don't, if it's in the budget, right, it's in our package, that we allotted that money for it,
For the debenture.
why would we not use part of that money and pay the truck? And not defer to a carryover 2 years later, if we don't use them? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we very well could, that's when we seek. Direction, but if council would like us to go back and get that amount. And adjust the resolution, we can. I left it open in case there's if there's a moment later in this year that we require, if another one. Breaks down tomorrow and you require another truck, you still have the capabilities to go and borrow if we need it to.
And also if there is surplus left over. Technically, at the end of the year, you could put it back in the core capital reserve.
Correct.
That's the conversation that was last night, was it not? As I recall.
I
Okay,
believe so.
I'm just,
Yeah,
just to clarify it out. Okay, shoot the finish.
Because there was a truck in the 2025 budget that did not get purchased. So
Correct.
where is that money?
We invested it at the end of the year into the village core capital.
And how much was that?
I don't have the exact number off my head. What we did. It was up in the range, between 125 and 150.
And that was a line item. That would have been a line item.
Not that complete amount, no, the portion for an interest payment. In short-term borrowing would have been light items, but not that complete amount for the purchase of the truck.
Okay. I have to trust. The only other quick things here is that the actual quote from Work and Play expired on January 24th. So that is roughly 2 weeks ago. And I believe the quote from Riverview Lincoln was dated January 26th as well. I don't see in there it states an expiry date, but usually
So for the Riverview Falls one, I've actually spoken to them this week and they are still holding the truck without a deposit for us, in good faith. Work and Play as well, I've spoken to them about their prices and they're saying it still, remains the same. And I can cut that out, I stopped it.
Okay, and just clarity, I know that on this meeting document or on this report document, it does use the date of the meeting date of February sixth. So today's date is not February sixth, it is February third. So just for clarity on that. And I do believe that in part of the motion, it does state, actually, I believe it's the next motion. No, I'll hold that one back. Well, the only thing is I totally disagree is that the last be it reserved or be it further resolved that we're gonna give the CEO mayor additional variance of up to $5,000. I mean, if you know your quotes, I'm not sure what you need an extra $5,000 for, so I believe that should be removed out of the motion.
Is there any,
I would, sorry.
no, can we have an explanation on why that's in there?
Because they've held this truck in good faith, basically saying we'll hold out here, but they've not guaranteed they would hold it, so we may throw them up tomorrow if this passes and get told, sorry, that truck's no longer available. However, we've got this one that's $2,000 less, $3,000 more, or whatever. So
Usually the dealership will work with you a little bit.
I'm gonna jump in, yeah, I think the quote, if they're gonna stick to it, they'll stick to it. If the truck is not there, I think you need to revisit and make sure because $1,000 is much. I would like to see that other myself. And also the addition on this is euro 50 cents.
we never did word math at school, so I joined the army.
It should be 24, not 74 cents. Sorry.
I'll pay that piece.
I use that for points.
Okay, so I can amend the motion as so be it.
Would be done.
I'll amend the motion and remove. It be further resolved that council authorizes CAO and mayor to approve cost variance of up to 5,000. Should pricing change or minor specification adjustments be required at the time of purchase, provided the vehicle remain equivalent in duty rating and operational capacities. We could remove that from the existing motion.
No, I have no problem with that being in there. I'll second it for conversation here. But I have $5,000 when we're talking $133,000 to allow the CAO and make a decision. I don't have a problem with that. I truly don't.
I understand what you're saying. It's a cushion that we probably wouldn't use.
But it's there if you needed to.
But it's there if we need it.
I would agree.
I'm not one to waste money. I try not to. But it's at council's discretion.
I'll clear your vote. I don't know do that.
All in favor of the amended motion?
Oh, honey.
The contrary minded?
Right.
Great.
It's right.
There you go.
Oh,
3 and 3.
yeah, he's one. Oh, because, that's
There
right.
you go. Goes 3 3. That's fair.
So I'm missing.
It's a cushion, it's not.
No, it's a 3-9.
So it's not a
I
tie,
understand that.
No.
I understand what the thought is.
but is it, sorry, I didn't,
It's
I'll read it
straight.
out to the clerk.
Put
If it was a tie, that means it's just dead in the water. It's, nothing happens with it, so you're gonna have to go back to the original motion and then vote. Yeah.
Oh,
That's how it works, yeah.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
all right.
We went back to the original motion now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna change that number.
So it's back to the original motion, correct?
Correct.
So now we vote on it, right?
Do we reread it again?
Sure, just for the record, should we?
Okay, I move that whereas the municipality's existing 3-ton dump truck has exceeded most key asset management and fleet lifestyle performance indicators, including age, reliability, downtime, and repair cost benchmarks, resulting in escalating maintenance expenses, reduced fleet reliability, and increasing impacts on service delivery. And whereas administration has received quotations from qualified suppliers for a purchase of a replacement 3-ton dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid dump body, together with a fitted 9.2 foot V-blade snowplow, which together meet the municipality's operational requirements and represent a like-for-like replacement of the existing asset. And whereas the total estimated cost for the replacement vehicle and plow is $133,883.74, excluding HST, consisting of $117,563.74 for the truck and aluminum hybrid dump body and $16,320 for the snowplow. And whereas funding is available for the purchase through the capital renewal fund in the amount of $84,394, with the remaining balance of $49,489.74 and net HST to be funded from the village core capital reserve. And now therefore be it resolved that council approve the purchase of a 3-ton dump truck fitted with aluminum hybrid dump body with a 9.2 foot V-blade snowplow as quoted by the respective suppliers at a total estimated cost of $133,883.74, excluding HST. And be it further resolved that council authorize the CAO and mayor to approve a cost variance of up to $2,500 should pricing change or minor specification adjustments be required at the time of purchase, provided the vehicle remains equivalent in duty rating and operational capability.
All in favor?
Aye.
Should have had discussion.
So,
When they,
do you want to discuss it?
I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Personally, I would stick them to the quote. I wouldn't give a penny more.
We probably won't.
But it's in here. We got defeated the first time, so I'm not holding up the process to buy the truck. But I will vote yes.
The only problem is if they sell the truck before we get it, but you did have a check on it? You put it out?
They wouldn't take, deposit, they did say they would hold in, the end of it,
I'm
somebody's
sure it's all right.
That's good chance it is.
Please report back.
everyone get me.
It's just principle.
Or, you know, not first thing in the morning. And again, I do not waste money. Just for clarification. Truck mounted sander procurement.
Again, this was presented to the committee in the whole meeting, nothing has changed with the quotes put forward at the time, as they be going around again, just to make sure they're still valid and, we're all good to go on this one. As it stands.
I'll read that motion. Whereas municipality has experienced sustained freeze-thaw conditions this winter, resulting in significant ice accumulation across municipal service roads, utility infrastructure, public-facing facilities, and existing sand equipment inherited at amalgamations limited in capacity, requires manual loading, and restricts the municipality's ability to carry out sanding snow removal simultaneously, contributing to staff safety concerns, reduced access to critical infrastructure, and increased reliance on unbudgeted and contracted sanding. And whereas truck mount sander with increased capacity and compatibility across multiple municipal vehicles will improve winter response times, enhance staff and public safety, reduce operational risks, and provide greater value through shared fleet use. And whereas sufficient funds are available within the village core capital reserve funds, therefore be resolved that council approve the purchase of an innovation truck mounted sander from Work and Play at a cost of $11,249.19 plus HST to be funded from the capital reserve fund. And be it further resolved that council authorize the CAO and mayor to approve additional costs up to a maximum of $250, should the quoted pricing be longer be available, provided the total expenditure remains within this approved limit.
Seconder. Questions, comments? Go ahead.
Just clarification, I think just where it says therefore be it resolved. The end of that statement where it says to be funded from the capital reserve fund, it actually should say to be funded from the village core capital research fund.
Okay. Do we know it?
Does that see them?
It says it above, but doesn't say it below.
Oh, I see, okay.
Typo. Good.
That's her, it can be loaded by the sand, by the tractor or.
Yeah.
No. Not, you don't have to take bags of it. They will have some milk. What size was it, you know? I mean, it's 3 yards.
Be 8 feet long.
I saw the difference.
1.85 yard. That's still capacity. Is that change that wording, yeah, please?
Let me read the whole thing again.
No, just the fourth where it's therefore be.
Therefore be resolved that council approve the purchase of an innovation truck mounted sander, work and play at the cost of $11,249.19 plus HST to be funded from the village core capital reserve fund.
John will second that. Okay, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Not reading the bylaws. Mayor and council statements and inquiries. Council is up.
Perfect. Just a few things tonight. I believe at the last meeting, I had asked a question with regards to winter maintenance in Lower Carbondale. And I have not been given an answer to my question, so if I could receive that, that would be appreciated.
On the streets.
Correct, of who is actually, and I mean, there's rumors that DTI is going to be coming back in 2026.
I have never been confirmed that.
No, but I think that was my question, and
That's the rumor, isn't it? No.
yeah, so I mean, I just want to know which company is in charge at this point and what their plans are moving forward. I was asked if I know that with regards to the ATV access, and I know that Councillor Coates has said that there might be some communication back and forth, but I believe that from my understanding is that they're waiting for council. So I think that a little more communication probably is granted between council and or the recreation or the ATV access committee and the people that are involved in that, because I believe they're ready to You're ready to
The
talk.
access committee.
correct. Yeah. The CAO and myself met with Chief True with the Town Review Fire Department with regards to moving forward with the dry hydrant in Ward 6. So continued conversation will take place with that. So I'm hopeful that something will be coming to council in the near future for debate and approval. I know that our assessments, everybody received the lovely assessment in the mail recently. I'm not sure what everybody's has done, but I know what mine has done personally, so just more of a heads up that to request for review, you can ask for that review. And the date for that is 30 days from the mailing date that you received your letter. So just a heads up on that. And then I guess just finally is that I brought up a number of times, there's a resident from Ward 6 still waiting for proposed documents. These were promised a number of times and they have not been given. Budgets have been approved and money is being spent without these documents received. So I would like to see and know when there will be a timeline that this document will be received.
2 weeks. I have the treasurer working on some other things there, I think it's priority right now.
I believe that is all my comments tonight. Thank you.
Who's the access committee, Jim? For the ATVs? Pardon? The access committee for the ATVers?
You're gonna go to Quad New Brunswick is where we've sent the,
You haven't contacted.
was it? There's a McDonald as the, president of the club. And I met him back. Spring, I think, and, yeah, he was gonna get right on it. And did we ever get any?
No.
No. Never
That
got any.
landowner, yeah, I sent it to Kevin, the Club 32 president, and I
Yep.
haven't heard anything back.
Now, they did have, Steve Nickel was a real, he was on our back at the time to get things done, and it's all right, and they've got it all laid out, they've got it, but it's got a quad to where house by them, Lake,
Good name.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after the meeting.
Great. The club cannot put a.
Well, I believe that they are ready to present their bylaws, their suggested, bylaw to you.
And, just a little of, I think it's been 3 or 4 years, it's in, Salisbury before they got anything done on it. So it's not. Then we've got to send it to public safety. So. Can we get something to fund them? See? They all got my number. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that, buddy. It's been noticed by some village residents that our Hillsborough, welcome to Hillsborough sign is no longer standing. And I explained to them that it was rotted, we had to tear it down. There was a conversation when it first came down about, there was some kind of a contest with the redesign and possibly a slogan change. Has that been thought about anymore? How far on the back burner? I know we got a lot going on. I just don't want it to get so far on the back burner that, you know, I don't want to see the village lose its identity and not have nothing there. So where are we with that?
Well, if council wants to give us some options on what they'd like to do, so if they want to run a contest, we'll design a contest. People can put in artwork, recommend some slogans, and then council can decide on what that looks like and what that slogan is.
I'd just like to see that move forward, and I'd say, I don't want Hillsborough to lose its identity, and without that sign there, that's the beginning of it. So,
Sorry, are you looking for just a welcome to Hillsborough sign?
Well, no,
Why does that need to be designed?
or when we had talked, there was an email that came out or a conversation about, like a design, get the village residents involved, like a new, design of it. And, you know, the slogan change, welcome to Hillsborough, the capital of the Albert. But that's,
Not laughing.
it's gotta be, something's gotta be done. We gotta move forward with it, because it'll just keep putting on the back burner and nothing will ever happen.
I don't know if they wanna give me direction and then I'll make it happen, so. You can either replace the old sign the way it was, or we can put together a contest and
The old sign was from year 2000, and then, so has things changed, is there?
I think if you could share that email to refresh us, because obviously I'm not remembering the redesign. I know we talked about welcome to Fundy Albert signs, but not designing a new welcome to the Village of Hillsborough sign. And so
I'll look back, see if I can find it, it might be
Yeah.
a conversation.
if we could find some more information, maybe and bring it up at the committee of the whole.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
that's what I would agree with.
Yeah.
And we would have the design for the old sign and go back that way.
Back to the old group. Yeah, right, that's all I have. Go ahead, Jim.
This is the CAO. the treasurer and Ian. I got held up today at the library. Apparently, they told there was 6 hours to clean the library other than the budget.
That's the current contract, yes.
Yeah, okay. What they wanna know is it 2 days like a week period
Like
at
from
a
the top.
time, or
I believe the copy we did find was for, it was for Mondays and Thursdays that the cleanings would be completed.
would somebody please
I'll,
tell Victoria? Just one more thing, and Wednesday, March the 18th, there's a EMO similar to the one we went at, the CAO and I went through, but this is on evacuation on massive. So if we had to move half of. Well, let's say we had to move all of Lower Coverdale, okay, that'd be the biggest. How it's gonna happen. So it's from 3:30 to 4 on the 18th. There's some more, it's supposed to be at the Coliseum in Moncton. That's the thought it yet, so there'd be something else, but that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You go.
I just got one thing, I had a resident at the last meeting, in the whole reach out about the RCMP response back in Albert Mines. And I'd like to have the CAO update us on that with his response that he sent us. Cause I know you did send in a request and they did send you back some information. Just to make it out to the public that the RCMP did send something back. And explain what took place and what didn't take place from their point of view. I thought it was kind of a watered down version of maybe what they should have done, but they didn't. Cause there was stolen vehicles, guns and whatever involved, and I think the residents deserve a better explanation, but I would, do you have that with you, CAO?
I do, so basically what he said was based on the information contained by the RCMP, they can confirm the incident did not meet the criteria required for an alert ready notification. And then he attached a graph drawing what that level is. So if you have the name of that individual, that reached out to you, I'd be more than happy to give my consent at this point.
Okay.
We can look at.
Yeah.
And then additionally, media release requesting public assistance and identifying locating suspect was prepared at the time the incidents were reported. Or this request was canceled following the suspect's prompt arrest by, I believe, Albert Mines resident.
Basically, the public kind of looked after things after the RCMP left.
Right.
So, yeah, I just want an update on that to put out the public, so. We did our due diligence and there was a response come back and that's what I did, so
Absolutely.
I'll give you the name of that person and you can send that to them and they have it confirmed. Thank you for that. Yep, and all I wish is a 4-foot snowstorm next weekend. I'm done.
Not before we get the new truck, please.
Next year.
I have snow removal contract, I live for contract. Just easy. All, your turn. Councilor Robert.
Thank you. Just in your comment about the roads in Lower Coverdale, I did have a question from somebody in Lower Coverdale and I called DTI. And they said that any concerns, comments or complaints still have to go to DTI. Doesn't matter who's doing the plowing. You don't call them directly, is what they advised me. And that's what I told the resident that had asked. I attended the Southeast Regional Commission meeting with Mayor Campbell. And April is Volunteer Appreciation Month and I don't know what budget we have, but is there any way we could recognize volunteers or have an open house for anybody that volunteers for Fundy Albert. We have a lot of committees, we have the fire departments, we have rec councils, we have boards, we have people that run nonprofits that bring people to Fundy Albert only because they volunteer. So I didn't know if there was a budget amount that we could maybe host a open house. And invite whoever to come and just acknowledge them. I know we haven't done it before, but if we could try it once. And just see that it grow. There's a couple of local committees, I think, that would join us in the prep work for it that I've spoken to, so. I don't know what council feels, but to be honest, you know, as I said before, we come to the table to make the decisions, but if it wasn't for our volunteers, we'd be, and the people in our community, we wouldn't be here at the table.
Completely agree.
I agree 100%. It's a good idea.
I think the cost will be fairly minimal for something like that, probably $1,500, and I could look at the ACDEV budget. Hoping to get a grant for some economic development things. So that should free up some budget for that. And it'll also fit in nicely with the mayor's roundtable on nonprofits and volunteers at the end of March. I think that's a nice transition.
So what, should I work directly with you?
Yes.
To make this work, and, cause I do have a couple other local groups that would like to participate and might donate some financial contributions, so that would be lovely.
Volunteers.
What's that?
I
Volunteers too.
I would volunteer to help out with that project, cooking or whatever you wanna do, if you wanna do.
Yep.
Whatever, that's why I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not looking to make it complicated in the first year, I just would like to do a drop-in, send it out. And I mean, it's not just for the people of Fundy, it's for anybody that volunteers to make Fundy Albert a better place to live and be.
So let me know, get a hold of me.
Yep.
And we'll work.
Thank you, that's it for me.
Southeast Regional Tourism Commission along with Deputy Mayor. Formative, well, that's as usual. CAO and I met with Isabel Terrio, the Minister of Tourism, and Melody DeVoe, her deputy, and another lady, Helena, who didn't really define what her role is, but it was an interesting meeting. We talked about all the good things that are in Fundy Albert, the many attractions and the need for the province and their tourism department to work closer with us as a council to bring new development to work towards a tourism corridor with the federal government so that we can draw funds for highway expansion and development. So I think all in all, it was a good meeting, and Sean, if you want to say anything about it, but
Yeah, we also touched on some opportunities with international engagement.
Yes.
Just because we do need, you know, it's great having Canadian tourists, but it's also really nice having international tourists as well. And we'll be working with them on the international engagement.
the mayor's roundtable, you told me today you have about 6 or
We
7.
have 6 or 7 signed up already just in 12 hours. So we think we're promoting this constantly. Hopefully we'll get a good contingent.
The rationale there was that we've got a lot of powerful groups who do a lot of fundraising. They do a lot of good for the community. And it'd be nice to bring them together, have discussions of what we can do as a community to help them. I know we have limited resources, but so do they, and in whatever. And to see if we can work closer with those guys, those people, and keep them motivated, that we do appreciate them, so. Mrs. Weir and I, sorry,
Are you done your, okay, sorry?
I was done that
Oh,
piece,
yeah,
but you
okay, I
got
just have a question
You
with
go ahead.
regards to, so I know that you've mentioned that you are meeting with multiple ministers over the next little bit.
February
24th and 25th.
5th, yeah.
And do you mind, like, who would those ministers be?
Currently right now, the Minister Randall, Tracy Simmons, CEO of OMB, Mr. Duran. We're working on just confirming with, Mr. Aaron and, Mr. Legacy. We should be close on those two.
Want to, be in their face to show them that we're here. It's always, if, once you're known, they pay a little attention to you. When you don't bother them, they don't come near you, so,
No, I think that's great that, you know, that you're getting out there and meeting with ministers. So I would just know if it's possible to have that list, and maybe there's questions from council that might help you guide that, but.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we could just maybe get a list and an idea of what your plan presentation material is, and then we can maybe, it's our choice if we want to add to it or give
Yeah,
any questions,
absolutely.
suggestions.
Just keeping in mind time is limited.
yeah, they,
Oh, absolutely.
Mrs. Weir and I are meeting with Patrick Kemp tomorrow morning. To be brought up to speed on the, Bundy Housing Project in Riverside, Albert, and the, credit union, so. We'll be talking to him.
It is my hope, as I spoke to you earlier today, it is my hope that they do come to council the presentation once he has a design
Yeah,
and ready to roll for Water Street. I think it's important. We've been very supportive of the project, and it's been 3 years to get this far, so I think it's important that he does come to council and make a presentation.
because of where it's situated, he had to change his plans somewhat.
Yep.
But we'll get an update tomorrow and certainly
Yep.
ask him to come and do a presentation with council.
Thank you.
As soon as he's got something to offer. That's it from you. Bylaws, there's nothing. Let's see, notice some motions and resolutions. Nothing. Public statements, Kathy?
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm on the agenda every time.
You're here.
Oh, I'm here. A couple of questions. So the audit wasn't mentioned tonight. So I'm just wondering, is there an update on the audit?
We'll have a better idea in the next couple of weeks, but we're looking at the end of the month.
I think
But I can't make any guarantees, and I won't make any guarantees. So,
But can we share we have a tentative date booked?
we have a tentative date.
Booked to receive the draft budget, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been given that before, but you feel more confident this stage is better than the last?
Well, the information that I've given here has come directly from the auditor, so this is what the auditor is telling me, this is what I've expressed to him, so.
Which is January, or the end of February, right?
Yeah, February,
March, we have a date book for March
yeah,
6th.
March 6th.
So the end of February is the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expected date.
Yeah. I don't think I'm speaking out of terms there, it's not confidential, it's March 6th is when we have a meeting booked with the auditor to review the draft budget with us.
That's a definite date, which is more than,
Which is more than what we've had in the past.
I
That's-
prefer not to use the word definite.
Yeah.
It's okay.
you tabled the finance committee till the new council. The economic development committee, is that something that's gonna be put in place prior to the election or?
I'll have the mechanics of everything set up, once the new council's elected, they can,
So it won't be enacted prior to the new?
no, it's legitimately gonna take a couple months to set it up, they're fairly complicated committees, and you have to have the right people on the committees as well, so there's all sorts of.
No, the document is very detailed, so I think setting it up sounded like you did that in the document.
No, I just wrote the document. It takes, there's work to do to get set up, so.
And the ATD update, I think, the same as Councillor Ward Russell. There's been no update on that, and I know in Riverside, Albert, we were looking for access to get to the gas station that was discussed, so I don't know if we need to, work with the Quad NB or who, from what I understood from Jim, it's Quad NB that he's waiting for. So maybe, because the CCRC is going to be hosting a trail meeting on Thursday, which Ian will be at, and it's an attempt to host all the trail groups to come together.
Maybe I'll join the meeting.
Um,
I said I joined.
I thought you'd invite.
So Ian is included.
Yeah, but I said I would
Yeah,
join
I'll go back.
Kathy.
Okay, yeah, no. Well, so this is not aside from the council. I mean, the council, we want the council involved, obviously. So, but it is an opportunity to bring all trail users, motorized, non-motorized and everything, to get them at the same table so we can understand where we need to move after these,
Is that Broadly?
it's, yeah, at 7 o'clock on Thursday. And it's to build on the momentum that happened when you held those three community
Yeah.
meetings, so we don't want to lose that. So that is happening on Thursday, and, so the ATV access discussion will be at that meeting for sure, so I was just wanted to know if there hasn't been any update report, where is the holdup? So, and Quad MB was at the Alma meeting too, so we'll certainly, see if we can't get that moving along. And that's all.
And just to add to that, I think it should be, because it has been confirmed now that the next Chase the Ace will again
Oh, yeah.
have a portion of their money to go to the ATV trails work. So I think they've got I can't remember, it was 18,000, I think, from the last one.
Yeah.
16, so they'll have more to build onto that for their future trail development, so.
And
Which
the
will be-
license went in today for JCA's, with the plan to start selling tickets on the 23rd, and the first draw would be the 27th of February. With the same partners, the Growing Club, the ATV group, and CCRC.
Thank you. Closed session. Being none.
What? I don't have to read.
We all have to be, we all. German?
I'll sit in the corners. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Until the buddy.